Happy Shark Week, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Hopsgeeknews, your home for comic books, movies, TV shows, and today we have a Jaws-sized episode for you. If you've been following us for the last few years, we've been doing Jaws each Shark Week, which unfortunately means for us, maybe happily for you, we have made it to Jaws: The Revenge. And don't worry, if you didn't watch it, you're not missing much. However, before we get there, I am Matt. With me, as always, is Lauren. And today, like I said, it's Jaws: Revenge. Go ahead, like, subscribe, share, follow on Hopsgeek News, any social media platform, any podcasting platform. Make sure you drop a review, whether it's Spotify, Apple, whatever podcast platform you listen to. Tell a friend, tell your mom. And you know what? It's Shark Week, and this is actually Lauren's favorite week of the year. So, Lauren, why don't you start us off with what you're drinking this fine beer on this fine, wonderful, calamitous day?
I'm drinking a beer that you gave me. It is called Little Troublemaker. It is a juicy IPA from Wiseman Brewing, and I thought it was good because, this shark is a little troublemaker. And also, this shark is the most ridiculous shark of all four Jaws movies because it just looks like a freaking giant rubber shark. And this is a goofy little looking monster as well. So I thought it paired well together. And because it's the 50th anniversary of the first Jaws, the OG Jaws, I have it in my super sweet Jaws glass.
Oh, yeah.
I got this at Universal because they're celebrating it. It was only an extra $3 with the beer. It's plastic, but it's like hard plastic. I freaking love it. It's adorable.
Man, that's really okay. I remember you guys talking in the chat, and Erica got one. I didn't see that you did, so that's pretty dope. And it's kind of funny that they shark. So real quick, I know we're going to dive in a second, but the fact that this movie, they were inspired by the first movie's less is more approach with the shark. And then they didn't do less is more in this movie. Yeah. So before we go into it, I'm drinking a Walter's Blonde Roast blonde coffee porter made with cacao nibs from Benchtop Brewing. I didn't really theme it or grab it. I grabbed it because the can kind of looks supernatural, which we're also going to be recording. So there you go. Have at it. But yes, Jaws 4. This movie came out in 1987. It was, funny enough, originally marketed as This Time It's Personal. And it completely ignores Jaws 3, the SeaWorld movie, and takes place immediately after Jaws 2, which is why it's not actually Jaws 4. It's just Jaws: The Revenge. IMDb has this rated as a 3.1 out of 10 and a 2% on Rotten Tomatoes. Written by Peter Benchley, who wrote the Jaws novel, and Michael de Guzman, directed by Joseph Sargent, stars Michael Caine, Lorraine Gary, who is originally from the first Jaws film, Lance Guest, Mario Van Peebles, I love that last name, I don't know why, Peebles is a fun name, filmed in not only Martha's Vineyard, but also the Universal Studios Hollywood lot and the Bahamas. Now, this movie made $50 million on a $23 million budget. It barely broke even. It was abysmal. It was awful. It was terrible. And to kind of jump into a fun fact before we kind of go into the plot and everything like that. So the original script, because it takes place right after Jaws 2, Martin Brody was to be the shark's very first victim. However, Roy Scheider declined to appear, and Sargent reported that the character of Brody had been dead for 18 months when we enter the story and deal with Ellen Brody's emotional problem, her obsession with the death of another member of her family. For de Guzman, it's a story of obsession and fear. Whether what Ellen Brody has in her mind is true or not will be left up to the audience to decide. No statement is being made in that regard, but it's about any kind of fear. So great, so strong that it begins to take control of human life. Geez, I don't even know how to unpack that. So why don't you go ahead and break it down? What is the summary of this beautifully done film?
So it's Christmas time, and we got one brother, Sean Brody, engaged, being a cop just like his dad, and Amity close to his mom. The other, Michael, is down in the Bahamas with his wife and daughter doing research on conchs. Sean goes on a work call out on the water, comes across a messed up buoy, and bam, Jaws attacks. While the town people are singing Noel, he's screaming for his life. Michael and his family come up for the funeral. As soon as he arrives, the mom starts going on about how the shark waited and it came for them. And she's also insistent that Michael no longer go in the water. She insists her husband died from a heart attack of fear because of Jaws. And Michael then tells her there's no great whites where he lives because it's warm. Cough, cough. That's BS. That's not true at all. There are great whites. They're not as common down there, but they are great whites. There's great whites in Florida. We know that now. Back then, it was everybody has cameras now, so now you can prove it. Like my
That's
grandmother was
true.
insistent she saw a great white in the Keys, and my grandfather said she was crazy. And then years later, I was like, "Oh, was she crazy?" Because now we have Catherine pinging all over Florida, and he still wanted to stick to his claims. But
Of
we know
course.
that great whites do sometimes show up in the warm water. So Grandma goes down to the Bahamas to spend some time with her other son and his family, where Michael does conch research. As Ellen, which is funny because we were recently in the Bahamas and we did a
I
snorkeling
know.
tour, and the guy kept telling us that all the guys should eat conch, and that if they do eat conch, that their wives will be very happy. Apparently, it's a bit of
Oh,
a
is it?
not just an aphrodisiac, but I guess it does a little more to
You
get
know,
going.
um,
He must
I
have said
feel
it like
robbed.
10 times.
I didn't hear this on my snorkeling tour in the Bahamas. What the hell, man?
Well, I can let you know which one we did. He just kept going on about it. It was really funny. Okay, so if you go down to the Bahamas and you want to improve some aspects of your life, eat some conch. So as Ellen bonds with Michael Caine's character, Michael Brody is out researching on the ocean when Jaws does show up. A much crappier version of the Jaws from the 70s. It looks rubber, like we mentioned before, but Michael starts to believe her crazy shark stalker theory. However, he chooses not to tell his mom, who suddenly tells him she's moving past her crazy shark theory. While Michael continues to keep the shark a secret, his business partner decides he wants to shift some of their grant money to researching this lone great white in the warm waters of the Bahamas. Michael finally agrees as they're both working on their PhD and hoping this will help, and they manage to get to tag her so they can actually track her. So that's good. Whenever she gets close, they can,
Finally,
see and hear her heartbeat. Instead of donut, they, hear beep,
we hear
beep.
beep, beep, beep.
It's not as fun.
It doesn't draw out any tension at all. There's no
No,
boom, 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 and then shoddy camera work. There's still very shoddy camera work, but unfortunately,
it is
no
rough.
music to accompany.
So another day, they're back to researching conchs when Jaws attacks Michael in the water. He manages to get to a sunken ship while his little vessel he was in floats to the surface. He then rigs his oxygen tank to shoot him up to the surface as fast as possible, as apparently he's trying to die from the bends rather than dying
Yeah,
from the shark.
it's actually, I'm glad you brought this up because when I'm watching this scene, I'm sitting there like, dude, you can't do that. You're gonna freaking kill yourself because the pressure and everything.
I actually Googled, I'm like, how deep can you be to get the bends? You only have to be 30 feet deep. And I
Yeah,
feel
you
like
don't
he
have
was
to go
30
deep at
feet
all.
deep.
I feel like he was
So,
pretty deep. Yeah,
yeah, he didn't go to a bends tank or anything like that. They were just
he
looking
just
for
shoots
shark
right to the
bites.
surface as fast as possible,
It
and
was like
he
a
definitely was
cartoon
not.
character.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's one lucky guy. So he survives, and next day Jake says, let's not go back in. But Michael wants to. He admits he's scared, but he says, I can't not go back into the water. Which I actually get that a little bit. Like, he grew up in the water, he loves the ocean. Like, he can't
It's
let
a
his
fair
fears
thing, yeah.
consume him. He's still assuming this is not a supernatural shark. So while Michael's in the water, the shark goes after his daughter while she's on a banana boat float while his wife is having her sculpture debuted. Thea ends up being okay, but another girl is killed. Grandma, Ellen Brody, is ready to get even. She's done. She goes and takes the boat, which I thought he was out at sea on. I felt like there was little inconsistencies as to what was going
Okay,
on
yes,
there.
I agree, and she is something in this movie. Oh my gosh, she is quite. She's out here. First of all, Michael Caine's over here like, I'd quite like to kiss you, and so she's over here schmoozing with Michael Caine's character, who, first of
Hey,
all,
she's a
probably not a
new
very good.
widow. First time she's dated in decades.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. But I thought, anyways, and then not to mention, I feel like Michael Caine's not the best pilot, essentially, because he got a shark crash his plane, dude.
No,
Like
he
what?
landed it on the water, tailspin style.
Yeah,
You didn't hear it go woohoo when he landed?
oh my
With
gosh.
DuckTales?
I was sorry.
Okay.
No, yes.
All right. So Michael and Jake then grab a dinghy and they head out after mom until they see Michael Caine, who's Hoagie, and he takes them on his plane. In the air, Hoagie tells him that his mom said the shark was coming for her, and Jake says, "Our shark?" Ellen Brody spots the shark and says, "Come and get me, you son of a bitch." She should have said "son of a fish," but I think
That
that's what
sounds
Anna does.
familiar.
Right then, Hoagie spots her as the shark comes out of the water. Hoagie lands the plane next to the boat. Michael and Jake swim to the boat, and the shark goes for Hoagie. Rest in peace, Hoagie. Just kidding. Hoagie's safe. As Jake
Okay.
tries to
Oh
put an
man.
explosive into Jaws, Jaws takes Jake. As the mother starts seeing flashes from past attacks, she then rams the shark, Prince Eric style, into Ursula. And it explodes, and everyone falls into the water, and Jake resurfaces. Then Ellen flies back to Amity Island. The end.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. My dude was carried away by this shark. And then it's funny because when he comes back up, of course they talk, I thought you were dead. And there's no blood in the water at all at this point. Zero. There's no blood coming from him.
There's blood on him. But yeah, he
Yeah,
would.
but
I
it's
feel like
not
he would
surround
bleed
he
out
would be
pretty quick.
bleeding out and be dead because they were in no rush to get that man to any sort of medical
Well,
attention.
Michael Caine had already called and said, "You need to get some boats out here and some planes out here immediately." So he had already called. We just didn't see that rescue happen. So I'm assuming that's what happened.
Yeah, I do okay, I do like Hoagie. He was one of my he's Jamaican, he's got the vibes,
Oh,
like, he's out
Jake.
here or
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're right, yes.
Hoagie is Alfred.
You're right, I'm sorry. It was hard watching this
Jake
movie.
was my
You're right.
favorite part of the whole movie.
My bad. Yes, Jake was awesome. He's out there vibing. The whole movie, he's upbeat, spirits, good and everything. I never remembered watching this movie, and so everything was kind of new to me because I must have just blanked this movie out. But I don't think it was ever really on TV. When did you first ever watch this movie?
I 100% watched this movie more than once growing up, but for some reason, despite the fact that I've never been to Hawaii and I've been to the Bahamas more times than I can count, I was 100% certain this movie took place in Hawaii. I have no idea why.
That's okay. I was over here thinking it was like Jaws 2 and filmed in Florida, but they were at the Bahamas. And first of all, they weren't passing that as Martha's Vineyard at all with how clear that water was. And yeah,
I
I
think
had
Martha's
forgotten.
Vineyard was just when she was in
Yeah,
Amity.
exactly.
That opening scene, that looked like you were at Universal.
Yes,
And then
which
when I pulled up where it was filmed, I was like, that part had to have been Universal.
well, it's kind of funny because in that opening scene, he gets his arm kind of bitten off there and he's in the boat and then of course he gets eaten up. But it was just hilarious how that was because
Like
he he didn't even seem like he noticed his arm was bitten off because it's all torn up and he's just in the boat like, oh thank God. And then he looks, he's like, ah, and then from there
Well, they say you
we
have
get
the adrenaline pumping. Like we were watching Shark Week last night, and like all 3 episodes were Paul DeGelder. Do you know who that guy is?
no.
The one that he lost his right arm and his right leg to a bull shark when he was in the Navy.
Oh wow.
He was swimming in the Sydney Harbor doing laps, and a bull shark got him. And now that happened in 2009, and now he's a huge shark advocate. And he did a thing last night that was like how to survive a shark attack, and they put prosthetics on him, and they were letting the sharks like eat it. It was all non-toxic and stuff. But what was my
Whoa.
point? I forgot what my point was.
Oh, because the adrenaline and everything
Oh,
like that was
yeah.
pumping, yes.
So when he talks about like how it happens, it's like you don't seem to feel the pain right away because of what's
That's
going on.
fair.
But he looked like freaking Georgie from It. Like he
He
had the
did. He was in that
yellow
rubber yellow
raincoat.
raincoat. Yes. And who's out there in the dark like that too is the other thing. It's so ridiculous. I know you've got some, buoy, all that
He was
other stuff, but
going somewhere because kids were tipping cows or something, and then he saw the buoy was messed up. I don't
again,
know.
call the Coast Guard. I don't know. There's just a lot of interestingness in this film, but yeah, I don't remember watching this film honestly as a kid very much. I don't. And then of course it's funny because I had tried to show my actual kids Jaws 1 and they could not have cared less. And yet I put this one on yesterday and the kids were sucked into this movie. The whole family was watching Jaws Revenge. Couldn't get them to watch Jaws 1. No, they wanted to sit there and they were posted up for Jaws the Revenge like it was a cinematic masterpiece. And that is just what? Because when the shark they rammed it in there was so many questions like, did the shark blow up? I'm like, yes, we also blew up a shark in the first one. Guys, I tried to get you to watch this stuff. What is wrong with you?
What are you gonna
Stupid
do?
kids, man.
Kids these
Yeah,
days.
no, so you've seen it a bunch. What are some highlights for you? Are there any
I
highlights
wouldn't
in
say
this
a
film?
bunch. Don't judge me.
I'm judging pretty hard. You said you grew up with this. This was your favorite film growing up. You had it on
I didn't
VHS.
say that. My favorite
You
film's
watched it
Lion
on a
King.
laser disc over and
A
over.
laser disc.
Do
A
you remember those? They would
freaking
wheel out
laser disc.
the laser disc
Yes.
projectors.
I only think I ever watched any of those at school. That was
That's
about it.
honestly same. Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite thing growing up was just the snorkeling in the water and the scuba diving and whatnot. Because it is pretty. Although watching it now, I'm like watching Michael like use the coral to like swim away, and I'm like, that's bullshit. Like
Yes.
he should not like if it was a real life scenario and you're truly trying to hide for your life, like fine, I get it if you're gonna kill some coral. But like you're filming a movie and you're touching all this like coral, like that's not cool at
They're
all,
over there
man.
like you knew that was a bunch of takes and everything. Yeah, they were
Yeah, that was messed
not
up.
pretty kind to the coral reefs down there in the Bahamas. And I mean, there's a reason why you see it now, the Bahamas. I mean, the reefs aren't really protecting. There's a lot of erosion happening. For instance, on Disney's Lighthouse, their new island where the cabanas are, the erosion is so bad that pretty much when there's like a drop off on the stairs, the
A
erosion
drop
is going.
off?
So, well, it's like it's come up. It's not, you don't walk from the stairs onto like a nice beach. It's just a cut, like someone chopped it down in sand because the erosion has gotten so bad, and I don't know how they're gonna fix it necessarily, but
Huh.
that's
There's
just a
like
tangent.
stairs to get into
I'll
the
have to show
ocean?
you. So, like, there's the cabanas on the Lighthouse Cay that are right on the ocean. So you can rent the cabanas for families, and then usually that means the way the stairs go, it would go down onto the beach, and so you can just sit on the beach. Well, the
Mm.
erosion has gotten so bad that the water basically is up to the stairs, and like the first step or two is now hanging off above like water almost at
Huh.
Lighthouse Cay. Yeah,
That's a
it's
brand new
kind of crazy.
island. I wonder
It
if they
is.
intentionally designed it in some way because of flooding or something.
I don't
Like
know.
everything
Good
in South
question.
Florida now is getting built higher up
Yeah,
than it
I
used to
mean,
be.
that's you see erosion everywhere, but we're not here to talk erosion.
Yeah, even
We're
Fort
here to
Lauderdale
talk
Beach has gotten a
beautiful,
little. Yeah.
wonderful.
As an adult rewatching this, my favorite parts were Jake's lines. For one, Michael and his wife are a very lovely, horny couple, and I like when Jake buys Michael the shirt for it's a complicated shirt for Christmas, and he says, "May your sex life be as busy as your shirt." I thought that was
Yeah.
really funny. And
Yes.
then he's like, "Why was the shark only going after you? Maybe he likes white meat." Again, that was really funny. So yeah, Jake made this movie worth
I like to
watching.
think Jake left this lot and went and made Cool Runnings right after.
I don't. It's not the same guy.
I know, but in my head, it's like that dude should go and quit water. He got attacked by a shark, so to him, he's probably like, "Screw this! I'm never going back in the
I'm
water."
gonna go to the
And then
snow.
he went and he joined the bobsledding team because then he would be as far away from sharks as humanly possible.
Jamaican bobsled
That's what I'm
team. There's
thinking.
sharks in the cold Arctic.
I
They're just
mean,
different types of
yeah, not
sharks.
on a bobsled trail for the Olympics though, but I will say that I do really enjoy not only Jake, but there's that sequence where the kids, they're all out there on the beach and the kids are all on that banana boat thing, that raft, I guess, and they're just
Mhm.
bouncing up and down. It was the most ridiculous. And then just the shark casually comes out and eats that
It's
one
so
lady in half.
stupid.
And it was so bad. It was hilarious, but everybody they do the slow zoom in, so everybody's starting they're doing their whole thing. They slowly pan in to the look of horror on the mom's face and then the other lady's face. They don't yell. They're just like this
Well,
is
I
slow
wonder if they
zoom
were
in.
going for like Brody in the first movie, like that iconic shot.
I think
So
that's exactly what they were doing.
when because I listened to the Then and Now Supernatural podcast, and they do a lot of behind the scenes, like the directors come on and film editors and all these people. And there was a specific episode. They're like, yeah, it's called like a specific something where they do that, and they're doing the jaw shot, the close up on Brody's face.
Mm.
I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Well,
But I
that's
guess
exactly what they were trying to do there with the mom and then the other lady for sure. It didn't have the same effect as when Brody's on
no,
the beach. And
because Brody was
Brody,
shocked, I guess. Well, and it wasn't his
well,
kin in the water.
it
It's like,
was,
why
wasn't
did
it?
the
It was their it would have been his grandson, wouldn't it?
well, yeah, no, I mean in the original Jaws. It wasn't
Oh,
like
right.
so it
Yes,
was
yes,
like
yes.
he was
I'm
like
sorry.
shocked, but like he didn't have like a duty to go out and risk his I guess maybe he's a cop.
No.
But like the
Well,
mom and the grandma both stopped running into the ocean. They just stopped.
they completely stopped, and it was hilarious because they didn't care that much for the kid then, I guess, because the shark
Right.
oh my god. And then it's funny because then you see the shark slowly swimming away with the body still hanging out of his mouth, just ha ha ha, but it's so slow
And then he
motion
just goes
ridiculous.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
and this
whole
shark
scene.
would sink too. Like I've never seen a shark in all the shark weeks I've watched, I've never seen a shark just sink.
No.
They glide down, they swim down.
Or the fact that I love a couple of the shots where they have the shark doing things. It's almost like a Madonna music video or something where they tried to like shake the camera and make the swirly so it's the sharks doing all this thrashing and whatever else, and it's just so bad. The camera work is so awful in some of those sequences where the shark is doing some of those, like the way they tried to do it, and then they overshowed the shark for a team that was inspired by the do more with less, show more is less, or show less is more. They show this damn rubber shark way too much. It makes you
It,
laugh
it
instead
does.
of be terrified like the first Jaws necessarily would have. It just made me laugh. And my daughter, Harper's like, why are you laughing? She's getting killed. I'm sitting there because this shark is ridiculous. Look how awful this shark is. Terrible.
Well, and they didn't use any actual shark footage either, which they did in the original Jaws. So even like underwater when it's not even attacking anything, it just looks
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
they used real shark footage. Yeah, this is the last Jaws movie that they made, isn't it?
Yeah, because they were
Okay,
like,
thank
we
you. I was gonna
can't.
say this is the
We're
reason.
done
Yeah.
here. Yeah, I mean they've done a million, things that aren't actually Jaws, but that are
Right.
called Jaws, like Santa
But
Jaws.
oh god. I mean, you got the Meg, you've got Santa Jaws, Sharknado. I
Yeah, we're
mean,
not in short supply of future Shark Week
oh, I
episodes. Our
was about to
first Shark
say.
Week was Sharknado.
It was because we had Thunder Levin, who was the writer for Sharknado, actually. So maybe we have to pick back up in the franchise after this because woof. So yeah, no, this movie was this production all around was something. And let's dive into fun facts. So why don't you kick us off with some fun facts about the production of this movie?
So Michael Caine said, quote, won an Oscar, built a house, and had a great holiday. Not bad for a flop movie, end quote. So he was paid $1.5 million for
Oh
7 days
yeah.
of work in the Bahamas. And his schedule was so tight that the producers were unable to spare him so he could attend the Academy Awards. And then he went on to win Best Actor in Supporting Role, Oscar for Hannah and Her Sisters, not for Jaws 4. However, he's never actually sat down to watch the movie, but he says he sees the
I
house
was gonna
every
say yes.
regularly that the movie paid for.
I was gonna say he said they were like, "Have you ever seen the movie?" And he's like, "No, but I've seen the house it paid for." And that's such a flex
Yeah,
because if
it's a
I
flex.
mean, if I was an actor, realistically, who knows when your next job is going to be? Who knows when you're going to eventually be flamed out or whatnot? So I take a movie like Jaws 4 if they're going to pay me a lot of money, especially at the time. 1.5 in
Right.
1987 is a pretty good sum of money. Now, granted, Michael Caine has done just incredible movies. I mean, the dude was Alfred in
Miss
Batman.
Congeniality.
That's Carrie when I was like, he's Alfred. She was like, no, I know him from Miss Congeniality. I was like, all right.
She's not wrong.
Yes,
We knew him in that before we knew him as Alfred, didn't
he's in
we?
every single Christopher Nolan film, pretty much. But yes, you did know him. Yeah, because Mr. Congeniality was before 2004. So yeah,
What's interesting though is how many people have turned down being in these movies when Jaws is such a staple in our country, and like it's such an American cliche like
it's a July
horror
4th
movie.
film. Yeah.
It's a July 4th film. It did amazing things for the horror industry, it did terrible things for sharks,
Oh
which we're
yeah.
still recovering from, but at least we have learned our lesson with that. Like Peter Benchley was even like, maybe I shouldn't have written Jaws because people got scared and started killing sharks. But I feel like Shark Week is doing a great job educating people like sharks are not the enemy. But you would think that people would be like, yeah, sure, I want to do this just so I can be part of the Jaws world. Like
You
in
can say
Walking
you were in
Dead,
that. Yeah.
or Star Wars, like what you have
It's
people just be
yeah.
a stormtrooper just because they want to be part of it. And here everybody's like, yeah, no thanks.
I'm good. Thank you. Well, I mean, Roy Scheider absolutely hated filming Jaws 1. He only did Jaws 2 because he was contractually obligated and it got him out of his other film obligations with them. So, I mean, I get it, but funny
Well,
enough,
and
though, go ahead.
no, you can take it.
I was going to say this is actually Lorraine Gary, Elle Brody's last acting credit. She came out of retirement for this one, and then it sent her right back into retirement. Coming out of retirement, I'm doing it. I'm doing Jaws: The Revenge. Nope, going
They
right
needed
back.
they needed at least one familiar face, man, and they
She
got
got
it.
paid, man. All right, no hate there.
Well,
She got
first
paid.
she said no, and they came back and offered her more money, which like good, they should. If they're gonna pay Michael Caine, who's not part of the franchise, 1.5 million, like pay her.
I mean, yeah, especially because she's the continuity between 1, 2, and this one.
Yeah, I
Completely
don't know.
forget
Was
about.
she in the third one? I don't know if she's in the third
No,
one.
she wasn't. She was in Jaws 1 and 2. They completely pretend the third one doesn't exist, and I can't say I blame them, but I think the third one had a lot more redeeming qualities in this movie.
I think I just liked that it was at SeaWorld, and I thought that was funny. I
Ugh.
don't know, because the third one too, remember that was a 3D one where the shark
Oh
like
my.
attacks the
Well,
glass?
there was that scene in this one where the eel jumps out and Carrie goes, "Oh, is this meant for 3D?" And I go, "No, I just think this was just a
It was
terrible
just a
jump
jump scare,
scare."
yeah. And like Amore eels are never like that. They're always hiding. Like
Yeah,
yeah, they
they're
don't
hidden in like the dark coral
in the
holes and
cave.
everything.
Yeah.
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 Oh my gosh.
Uh,
All right, let's continue with fun facts.
this one's a sad one. So Judith Barcy, who played the little girl Thea, this was
Oh
her
geez.
last movie before she actually passed away at the age of 10, just a year
Well, that
after
got
this.
depressing.
The only reason I included this was because Lance Guest, who played her on-screen father, Mike Brody, actually served as a pallbearer at her funeral. So I thought that that was very sweet and cute, and obviously he must have created a bond with the kid while
Oh
filming. So
yeah.
I felt it was worth sharing solely because of that. But yeah, that's tragic. I wonder
Jeez.
what her parents think of the movie. I wonder if they can like pull it up and see the sweet parts of the film or if it's traumatic for them to watch.
That's a good point. Yeah, as a parent, I guess it's one of those double-sided things, right? Because as a parent, you'd want to watch, "Oh, that's my kid," and have memories of that, but also it's
Be
sad
tr
because that's
Yeah.
my kid, 10 years old. It's ridiculous, but
Yeah.
Dennis Quaid was asked to come back as Mike Brody. He also turned this down. At this point, Dennis Quaid was doing bigger and better things, I guess. I don't really know what it was back in 1987, but he was too good for Jaws Revenge. I can tell you that
Ooh, too
much.
good for Jaws. Maybe he'll only do it if it was at SeaWorld again.
I don't want to travel to the Bahamas. That's another thing is some of these
I wanna
movies
go to Orlando.
you get to go on vacation, right? They're filming in the Bahamas, for example. Like some of these are vacations. I
Yeah, but have you heard some of the stuff with, White Lotus in Thailand?
Oh,
Like,
well,
people took
okay. Yeah,
turns, like, getting sick.
that's a different thing because the filming is so long for White Lotus. This movie was filmed in just 9 months. So actually, this film was made in less than 9 months, with production commencing in September of 1986, so that the film could be released the following summer. The film was shot on location in New England and in the Bahamas, and completed on the Universal lot. As with the first two films, Martha's Vineyard was the location of the fictional Amity Island for the opening scenes. Delays caused by the mechanical shark and the weather led to concerns about whether the release date would be met. Many critics actually suggested that the rushed production compromised the quality of the film. The film was marketed with the now infamous tagline, like I said, "This time, it's personal." You make it sound like an action movie. It's like Terminator 2. "This time, it's personal. I'll be back." Signed, Jaws. "You killed my father. Prepare to die."
I also think it's interesting too, because like, Sharknado, it's like they lean into the campiness.
hmm
So it's like, it's absurd even in that, but the actors take the absurdity seriously. I don't know why this falls or misses the mark so
Well, because
hard.
Jaws was a serious film, you know what I'm
I
saying?
guess
It
that's what it
was
is.
a
They started
straight
off
serious film,
serious
and
and
I
then went
guess
campy.
when you're filming in the Jaws universe, you wanna play it as a straight serious film, but I feel like at this point, we're so far removed from the seriousness that was Jaws, that you almost need to lean into the campiness, but
I suppose. Did you mention the Golden Raspberry Award while I was
no,
looking at Dennis Quaid's career? Okay, so, Bruce the
I
rubber
think he
shark
did
is
alright.
his name's not actually Bruce. Bruce is the first one, the OG shark.
How dare you
So,
stand where he stood?
I also didn't see claspers, so I feel like it must be a girl. I don't
Maybe.
whatever. The rubber shark was not I tried to look, I'm, like, trying to look underneath the shark to see if it
Wow!
is it a boy? Is it a girl? Okay, so, was nominated for a Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Actor in this movie, thus making him the first animal nominated for one since Jaws 3D's Shrieking Dolphins, Cindy and Sandy. So look at
Come on,
Jaws.
man, the dolphins saved the day in Jaws 3D,
Those
okay?
Jaws to dolphins were terrible. It's whatever. Well,
They
we did
weren't
this.
great, but I mean, they saved the day and they served a purpose, but this rubber shark served zero purpose.
If you want to know our thoughts on on sharks on Jaws 3D, we did do our Shark Week
Every
episode
summer,
on it last year.
every summer.
Yeah, this is our
And
fourth year.
yeah, oh god, yeah. This was the first of the Jaws films not to be the first in the box office that weekend. RoboCop beat it out, funny enough, and the 1930s Disney Snow White cartoon re-release. Imagine we're going to re-release Snow White and it's going to beat out your Jaws film. Tell that to and Jaws when it first came out. Tell that to them and see how that goes over because that's insane. Insanity. But I can't say that I blame them. I mean, I don't care for Snow White, but I would probably see that over Jaws.
I don't know. I'd probably watch Jaws forever Snow White.
But okay, actually, to be Jaws: The Revenge, though, I do feel it's a good film because I love bad movies.
I didn't hate
We all know
watching
that,
it. At no point was I like, "Oh my god, I have to stop watching this." But
right?
I was laughing when I wasn't supposed to be laughing.
It wasn't a slog to get through like some of the movies we've watched on this. And I will say that I found it comedic. I love bad movies. Again, it's not a movie I'm going to search out and watch on the reg, but in terms of enjoyment, if you want to like just drink a beer or just you're in a crappy mood
Play a
and you want
drinking game.
yeah, or if you're just in a crappy mood and you need something to cheer you up, I do recommend movies like this because they're so ridiculous. You cannot help but laugh. It's just so, and then a young Michael Caine is still suave. The guy was out there suave, handsome, and
The gambling problem.
he's got a
He's
gambling. He had a lot of issues, all right, but that
It's
doesn't.
not even his plane, it was his employer's plane.
Listen, that just has nothing to do with him being suave and handsome and pulling Martin Brody's widowed wife. Okay.
I did like when Michael got like concerned about him with his mom, and he's like, well, he's asking Jake, like, well, what do you know about this guy? When did he arrive? Because so many people fly into the Bahamas with drugs. Did you know
Yeah.
Castaway Cay used to be, that's Disney's first private island? That used to be a place where they would smuggle drugs. I forget what
How
the
do you know
original
it's
name was
still
called.
not? Maybe the mouse is in the drug game now.
There's still a pathway that's the you run the 5K on it, or and it's a airline, a plane
Okay, I
landing thing.
think I want to try to run the 5K, maybe while like the family's at the beach. Well, I
It's
can't say
not
it
a
out
great
loud, but
5K. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of it is just like in the sun and on pavement.
oh, do they? Because they do the runs. That's right. They do like the actual. You get like medals and stuff. So they'll sometimes do like
Yeah, the
a
medal's
run.
adorable. It's a little rebel medal. Oh, it's called Gorda K or Gorda Key. It's actually Key, but we all say
Do you have to
K.
sign up for those runs? Do they do them every time they go to that island?
Yeah.
Oh, they do.
And you
Oh
can. They
shoot!
used to have it like they would just do it in the morning, but now I think you can run it at any point in the day.
And then how do you like sign up and?
I think just go to guest services when you get on the Mickey boat. I haven't done it in years. I've only done it once.
Oh, well, I guess I'm gonna do it in December.
Although I almost wanted to do it last time because then I saw they have a new medal and the medal's really cute.
Oh well, like I said, I guess I'm doing it in December. So I guess I'll let you know. All right.
Do it.
Final
Turn
thoughts
mine into a
on
Christmas ornament.
Jaws: The Revenge. Do we have final thoughts? My final thought is it deserves a 2% on Rotten Tomatoes. This movie is probably about a 1 star out of 5 for me. Not
Oof.
great, but listen, okay? Not everything's 5 stars. All right. Not everything is Fast and Furious to me, okay?
Ay. I'd rather watch this than Fast and Furious.
Are you? No, that's because Josh bullied you into feeling you can't enjoy Fast and Furious.
That is true.
That's terrible.
But I love anything that I get to see the ocean in too.
You can see plenty of ocean
Um,
in Fast and Furious.
Let me think. I don't know. I mean, I didn't hate it. It was really bad, but I didn't hate it. I don't know. I feel like a 2.5 is generous. Maybe a
It's okay.
2.2 out
That's
of
okay. A
5.
2.2. That's
Out of
even
5.
weirder. Okay. I'm
I
not even
just
doing I'm not even doing the math on this one. Just know we thought it was not great. And if you
But
want to
it's
listen,
worth watching. And this is going on my list of movies that aren't Christmas movies that should be Christmas movies.
oh, that's a good one. When we do that and get into Christmas mode here in a few months. Yeah, that's a good point. Because
Batman
I do
Forever,
forget that this is
Iron
around
Man
Christmas.
3.
Yeah. Okay. We don't need to talk about I would rather watch this than Iron Man 3. I said it.
Yikes, I'd rather watch Iron Man 3.
I
Iron Man
would
3 has redeeming qualities.
no, it's
It does.
such a
It
bad
has
I
redeeming qualities. It's because they messed up the Mandarin, which is why people hate it. But they
no,
redeemed the
I
Mandarin in Shang-Chi.
loathe Iron Man 3 for reasons which we will need to do like an MCU rewatch thing to throw up on Patreon, and since
Right, because that'll be super fast, an MCU rewatch.
we don't have to go through it fast, okay? But
We're gonna be 80 when we finish.
till we're
And
90.
we
We're doing this till we're
till we're
90.
90. Yeah.
So I'm just saying, okay?
We have to include
Anyways,
Agents of Shield, Cloak and Dagger,
oh my God,
Runaways,
you're the one that's adding
Peggy
so much to
Carter,
this. Then God,
Inhumans.
everybody go like, subscribe, share. If you want to listen to more Jaws content, go back to our last year's episodes. Maybe if I find them and feel overzealous, I will add them in the show notes. Who knows? We'll see. Okay. I'm not the most perfect person ever, but I try. And Fantastic
Not
Four is out,
everyone's
so go
Jensen
see it. No
Ackles.
spoilers. Go watch, however, Shark Week. Go pet a shark. Go donate to the
Don't pet a
ocean.
shark. Don't do that.
Oh man, but I would love to pet a bear. Can I pet a bear?
I don't care if you pet a bear. Don't pet a
Oh,
shark.
God, bears are big, just puppies. Thanks for hanging out.
Don't pet a
Cheers,
bear.
everybody.